Hi, this is Lucy, and today I'm going to show you how to build this easy homestead. You do not need catwalks for this build, and I will in fact show you how to build it with base building parts. If this is something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. So this is my homestead. We have a Brahmin who is an absolute nightmare. She has tried to climb through this window. She's got stuck in the bathroom. It's been fun. My first Brahmin in the game, who I was very attached to, I called Houdini because I put her in a barn and she kept escaping. I was targeted by another player early in the game. I didn't know how to block people in those days, although we weren't friends, so... But anyway, I didn't know how to block them, and he kept killing my Brahmin. So, we have various resources. We have some crops, we have honey. Obviously Max the cat. I have Gramps. Now, I didn't know that I didn't have Gramps. If you haven't got Gramps and you want to get Gramps, he is usually downstairs in Foundation. If you are a ghoul like me, this means having to go and get a disguise temporarily to go inside at Foundation. I kind of was assuming that once I got to ally with the settlers, that I would no longer need a disguise, but I'm a general in the Enclave and I still need a disguise to go in there, so I think it's just a permanent feature. It kind of bugs me. This is not specifically a ghoul camp. There are no rads here. I will show you where we are on the map. We are just below the crosshair. We are above Clancy Manor. For those that remember early in the game, this was a really, really popular location. You couldn't build here because everybody had camps here. No Respawns did a camp here early in the game. He did a video, but I've never built here. And I was wandering around the other day and I thought, you know what? The one significant thing about this location is the hanging tree. The weird thing being, though, that obviously this branch doesn't go with the rest of the tree, and you can, in fact, make the tree disappear if you can get some of the places, some of the ground is a bit glitchy. But yes, you can make the tree disappear and just leave the branch hanging, which looks totally ridiculous, but there we go. So, because of this issue with these spots where things sink into the ground, that's why I put crop plots out. I had intended to put my Brahmin over here. She's sunk up to her neck. So that is the one downside of building here. The raiders up there do not bother me. Clancy Manor doesn't bother me. I have my turrets on these walkway things, which is about the only use I've made of them, to be honest. So the enemies tend to come up here and my turret usually takes them out. I do have another turret over there just on the off chance that something gets past the first one. So we have this outdoor workshop. I have my freezer out here. It would not fit in the kitchen. I wanted to go for kind of very homely, kind of a bit hoardery look. So I have my kitchen under the Stairframe. I have made quite a lot of use of... I caught this when I was fishing the other day. So I thought I'd make good use of it. It's a Luxo Brew coffee pot. I have quite a few things on chessboards, including a carnival pie, which I know it will go off. I just wanted to put a pie on the windowsill. just wanted to. I have more resources with my curio cabinet stuff. I managed to merge a newspaper and a coffee cup onto the table. Max's bed. Bathroom is fairly basic. I didn't do a lot in the bathroom. Obviously I haven't put wallpaper in this camp, and because I use the Firehazard set there is no window in the bathroom. If you want one and you don't want to build it in a different set, one of the things I've done before is I've put glass top wall arches in, so you get sort of a privacy window. Hello Gramps. He's one of the few companions that I can actually tolerate for some reason. This is the bedroom. I haven't used this bed in a long time, so I put pillows on it and some sleeping bags and sort of... It's a lot of brown. Brown is my least favourite colour, but... I also found out when I was breaking these roofs to get stuff under them that you can break these rugs and it will make everything on the rug disappear. Because I've had problems destroying rugs before. These are the rugs you get from an EK from doing caravans. More kind of stuff. That's on a chessboard. Now, originally, when I built this, I just left this area wasn't floored. But then I put a floor up and I thought, well, shall I extend the bedroom or... So I've got this kind of faux balcony, I guess. So we've got lots of storage because we're a bit of a prepper here, obviously. But you can also sort of use it as a balcony. So yeah, it was something different. I thought I quite like it. If it's a horrible day and you just want some fresh air and you don't want to go outside, you can sit up here and chill. I'm probably going to keep it for a while on Mina. I think I'm up to 3 camps now. I have 9 or 10, 9 I think unlocked. Possibly 10, I don't know. So I will be doing a lot of building on Mina because she has the space. I did recently get another camp slot because there was something I wanted to build with Nora, which will probably be my next video. It's completely different from this. It's very brightly coloured. Just was feeling it last week. So I'm going to rebuild this using base stuff. I'm not going to use the pavilion set, and I'm going to use the brick walls and the base roofs, and nothing's going to go wrong. It's all going to work perfectly. I hope. Right. So let's get on with the build. So I'm going to make a start with some foundations, and I'm going to use non-atom store stuff. I'm going to use the basic in-game walls and floors. So we'll start with the workshop. It is 2x2 to make a square. The house is also 2x2. We have one here for the bathroom. You could, if you wanted, put the bathroom here. And we have 2 for the terrace deck. Couldn't think of the word. I am going to use the brick set for the walls as opposed to the Firehazard set. If you have the fireplace, it was a season reward, I think. Put a doorway here. If not, don't worry about it. We have the door here and another window. I can't remember if I put a window here. I don't think I did. So here we are actually going to double wall, which means put 2 walls. One's attached to this foundation, one's attached to this foundation. It only works with doorways. And that's just so that the interior's walls match. For the bathroom, place half walls all the way around, and then top wall arches. Now we can add the stair frame if you want, however there's a few more walls on this part of the building that we need to add, because if you put the stair frame in now you will not get this roof on here. So I will show you. We need a top wall arch here going in this direction and one here. We can, while we're at it, add half wall, and another top wall arch, so that we get this line going upwards. We're going to add some roofs. I'm using the base set. I'm going to put the bathroom roof on first, and then these two roofs here. Now I put this one on first. It doesn't matter with this set. With the base roof set it doesn't matter, but some of the newer roofs have a lip. This one sort of curves under, some of them stick out. So if you put this one on first, you would not get this one on unless you destroy it or flatten it out or change it. So just makes sense to go, I suppose, in the direction that it's going. Stair frame. I'm going to add the stair frame. It's the first one, so that when you put it in here, the stairs are next to the wall. And we can add some upper floors. I like all my floors to be going into in the same direction, so that if I change them up in the future and I have a directional pattern, it will work. So there we go. Because this is a legal ladder, if you do make a mistake you can just take the floor off. We're going to add a few more walls. The doorway is at the top of the stairs. This was a window. With this set you do have the option of a double window, but because this building is quite small I went for the single windows, but it's entirely up to you. Now before we go any further, I'm going to assume you do not have the pavilion set, so I'm going to show you how you can get a pavilion set effect using a pillar blueprint. Blueprints are really easy. This is one of the simplest. I do have a short video about pillars. I will put a link down below. Underneath my video you will see more ... If you click on that, it will give you timestamps, it will give you information on what I use to build things, and I will also post links to other videos if it's relevant. All you need to do is place a pillar legally. You have to, for the blueprint, add a second pillar. Every time someone has posted on this video that it does not work is because they have not included the second pillar in the blueprint. Then you take a small floor object. I use the floor connector. Everyone has it. Place that there. Then you hold down your select key till the item goes white. Select those 3 items. On Xbox it says underneath, press X to create blueprint. Whatever system you are on, it will be in that menu. You create your blueprint. So here is the blueprint. It will go, as you can see, it will just go through upper floors and roofs. Just going to place these, I'm doing it quickly, where we want our pillars to go. Then you simply take the top pillars off. And remove the power connectors, which I quite often forget to do, and I sometimes just find random power connectors on the floor in my build. To finish off, we can put some fences between those pillars. I do like to use the barbed wire fence. It is not an atom store plan, it is something you get from mole miners. It's entirely up to you. If you want to use the base fences, please do, but be aware that they are a cursed object. To finish off the upstairs of the house, I'm going to use the in-game wood set. Half walls here and here. Top wall arches. So basically we're mirroring the other side like so. And we can put the rest of the roofs on. Roofs attached to top wall arches and to certain points on regular full walls, but these will just attach to. Now, if you want the effect that I had, what you can do is, if you don't know, this card, Wrecking Ball, now you can damage your own camps. When I tried this on the PTS, I do play on Xbox, but I have a tiny PC account. It chugs a lot, but I sometimes log in on my level 10 character just to check stuff out. On the PTS, it told me that this card unlocked at level 29. I will tell you that on this character, my new Ghoul character, did not unlock until I was level 50. If you're worried about falling out, be aware that even if you crouch, you cannot get under a half wall in the gap. You won't fall out. You could always put a fence up there if you wanted. It's completely up to you. You could free place one of these fences. Or you could just leave it as it is. Bit tricky to... yeah, there we go. Or if you do the event safe and sound, there is a slightly smaller fence, which is this one, the paddock fence. It's completely up to you. So that is the house done. You can add wallpaper if you have it. Whatever you like. Right, fencing. Now, I am not going to lie to you. If you've seen any other of my beginner videos, like the Easy Cabin or the Woodcutter's Cottage, you're going to know that fencing is an absolute pain in this game. The default fences, the base fences, these ones are a bit of a pain in the butt. So you can use them. I'm not saying don't use them, just be aware that they can be very tricky. You have the option to turn snapping on and off, but in an area like this where you have things sinking into the ground, it can be extremely difficult. I almost never use these. I either use the barbed wire. You may be able to get these in player vendors. They are quite... they've been around for quite a long time, especially when the Mole Miner event is on. The other option is the paddock fence. Now, this fence comes from the event Safe and Sound, and it drops quite commonly, so you shouldn't have a problem getting hold of this. You will notice when you try and snap it to this foundation that it does not want to snap. If you have another fence here, say you put the base, because you could put the base ones in here, they will snap to foundations. Once you have one snapped to another fence, it will snap in the correct position. Hope that makes sense. These will float, which is great because, as you saw earlier, these ones will not. What you can do with one that's floating like that is you can select it, turn snapping off, and hopefully it didn't. It does with the barbed wire fences, but you can just drop it down so that it's in a lower position, put snapping back on. Now, if you have the crop plots, I'll show you where they go. They do make life a bit easier. These garden foundations come from Foundation for doing quests there. And got the same problem here. Again, if we put a base fence on here, we might be able to snap one to it. There we go. It's being a pain, but it will go. This one is going to have to be a gate, actually. We can take this off. We can carry these around. I think these crop plots unlock quite early, so you should be able to get them fairly quickly by doing dailies for ward. If you donate your reward for doing that to ward, you will get more rep. Also, if you go to the Overseer's house and do quests for Billingsley, I think, is it? I can't remember his name. The robot downstairs in the basement, you can take photos. If you take photos of Crater and then sell them to Foundation, you get more rep that way as well. So it stacks up a bit more quickly. So we've covered that area. I didn't put the gate in here. We need to put the gate in. It is a separate plan, but again, I'm going to have to turn snapping off by the looks of it. No. Right. These will drive you. No, it's not having it, is it? But we can just turn snapping off to get the gate in. It will tell you at the bottom whether snapping is on or off. Right, it's on. We're going to turn it off. And we're just going to put this gate in if we can. There is no way this should not fit in here. Right, it's snapping on. Right. You have to place it first. Now I can turn snapping off, hopefully. No? Oh, for goodness sake. Apparently you can't turn snapping on, off or on for this gate, which is insane, and I have no idea why. But we can place it. There we go. Go forward a bit. What you can do is, if I can't see a snapping option on that, what you can do is if you get this fence out, snapping is on, turn it off. I think if you go to the gate, no, that didn't make any difference. Ignore me. So you've got that far with your fences. We're going to have a problem here. It will not go in. No. This will drive you. It drives me completely batty. I hate doing this. These are floating. It will, I mean, it will keep enemies out. Select it, turn snapping off. No, it won't go down. So just get lots of turrets. I've always said this, you can't build the same camp twice. When I built this, I would think I was slightly closer to this tree. And ironically, all of the fencing went down fairly straightforwardly. So, however you want to do this, I mean, it is an absolute nightmare. We can try, you could just put foundations everywhere. It's completely up to you. We can try some of the base fences, line them up with this wall. No. See, let's go back to these. These are more forgiving than the base fences. Intersects with an existing object. Quite often these things will not snap through rock, but apparently it might be the tree. It might be too close to the tree. It's not the easiest place to build, to be fair. Right, we have fences. As you can see, it is a pain, but it's doable. It just will drive you crazy. If you don't want fences, if you can't get the fences to work how you want, then just give up. Is my advice. I'm going to use the base, so I put stairs there, I think, and there. I can't remember. So obviously if you do have the pavilion set, or you do have some of these sets, you can swap this out to whatever you want. You could make this in the log cabin set. I used the Firehazard set for this. You can just swap them out. If you get the pavilion set, then by all means use that. If you don't know, I don't know if it's on there, I'm not saying it is. The pavilion set, I think, was a season reward. Don't ask me which season. I think we're up to 21, aren't we now? I can't even remember. Bethesda do have a list on support. If you contact support, you can buy, not everything, but you can buy some items from there. So it's always worth checking that if there's something you really want, to see if it's on the list. Obviously, if you have the pavilion set, you can put that in. Completely up to you guys. I used the one with the fence around here and the one without here and here. I actually used the abandoned mine for my top wall arches, I think. For this one here, I used the half pavilion wall. The floors, I used the abandoned mine. I pretty much always use that for my rustic builds. You could use a tile, you could use the base, whatever you want. There are lots of different options. For the stair frame, I used the Pine Barrens one, which came with the Pine Barrens set on the scoreboard a few seasons ago. And I used the Pine Barrens roof as well. So there we have it. Whatever you want to do, however you want to build this, it is a nice spot. It is a bit remote. It's quite useful for when you have to kill 10 humans, because after, I think about a year ago, the crosshair has more raiders now, and there is a door behind at the back in the cave, and there are more raiders in there as well. So when you have to kill humans or raiders, it's quite useful. I tend to measure things in how many caps to the nearest vendor. Grafton Station is free because I'm on a custom world, but I think it's about 10 caps. However, you can travel to Nuka World on Tour, Foundation, Crater or the White Springs for free. So it's kind of redundant now. I quite often go down to Nuka Cola World. or crater, whichever's closest, depending on where I am on the map. Although technically distance is irrelevant. Still takes the same, it would take me the same time to fast travel to here as it would to go down here. So yeah, and if you're then going back to your camp, it's free again, so whichever you prefer. So I hope all that made sense. I hope you have better luck with your fences. I mean, I did get them all in eventually, so don't want to know how many takes it took. If you are going to build here, just be aware that this end is a bit tricky. I mean, you could always turn the house around, put the house back, but then you won't get the view. The house will block it. It's completely up to you, really. So I hope you like the build. I hope you have fun with it. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.